everyone, it's Caroline here again from Aussie Cards and Crafts, and today what I'd like to show you is a three-step display card. So as you can see, it's got the three steps in it. It's got the 1, 2 and 3. It's an extremely easy card to make, and if you're not going to use your flowers, if you wanted to use bulk flowers and maybe I actually die cut this, but you don't necessarily need die cuts to decorate this. It's a little bit fiddly in the cutting, but I actually have done a template for you, which I'm going to follow as well, so I don't make any mistakes while I'm showing you. But it's a beautiful card. You've got plenty of room on the back to write your greeting. I'm actually going to stamp a greeting there. If you open it right up, you can actually stamp a greeting there and use that as your writing, or alternatively you could write inside. Entirely up to you. I really like it. I think it's really pretty. I loved this paper. I don't know, I think it was no, the name escapes me, but I really loved it, so I thought I'd use that yesterday. And today I'm going to make a birthday card. So let's get stuck into it. It's, as I say, it's not that hard to do, but you do need to follow directions. So let me get started. I'll pop that away. Now, these are the things that I need, and as you can see, I've already done quite a lot of preparation for this one, because otherwise it would be far too long. Basically, this is your template, and I know that looks really busy, but I'm going to go through it with you very, very, very clearly. So I'll keep bringing this backwards and forwards, but I'll show you when I'm actually doing the actual card itself. So I'll just pop that to the side for one moment and put all these things to the side. Now, the base piece that you will need is a piece that is going to be 10 inches by 8 inches. Okay, so along the 10-inch side, what you need to do is you need to get your pencil and you need to mark at 3 inches, just a tiny mark, at 5 inches, at 7 inches, and at 8 inches. Okay, now on my scoreboard, I have actually brought these down, and I've just used lead pencil to mark the inches and the half inches. So it just makes it easier that I don't have to keep turning my paper around. So our first one was 3 inches, so you make another mark at 3 inches there. The second one was 4 inches, so you make another mark just there. The next one was 5 inches, so you make a mark there. 6 inches, 7 inches and 8 inches. So just going through that again, it's at 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches and 8 inches. Turn it around, and what you then need to do is, once again, making sure that it's nice and square, you need to mark at 1.5 inches top and bottom, so that's 1.5. You need to go 3 inches top and bottom. You then need to come across to 5 inches top and bottom. Then you go at 6.5 inches top and bottom. So let's just pop our scoreboard away. Now, going across the long ways, you need to get your ruler, and I would do this very lightly, because what you're going to do is you are going to make these lines here, but only with very, very lightly with a lead pencil, not as dark as I've done them here. I'll try and bring that up so that you can maybe take a screenshot of it. Okay, I hope that came into focus. I can't actually see. So what you now need to do is, following this, you need to just very, very, very lightly, just from these marks here at 1.5, just gently go across so you can hardly see them. Then you go to the next one down, which is, I believe, at 3 inches. And join, whoopsies, and join those lines up as well. if you come to the 5-inch mark, and once again, do that again, and at the 6.5-inch mark, do that again. Now those lines will actually be rubbed out. I might just do that. I can hardly see that first one. Right. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to score. And I'm going to bring my scoreboard in again for this one. Now you've got all of your lines marked out. Oops, let's pop it that way. So pop it that your first mark is at 2 inches. Okay, so then that is the same as this. And what you need to do is you need to get your scoring tool and you need to score from, as you can see, from that first 2-inch mark down to your second across line. So you score from there to there, miss that 2 inches in the middle, and then start at the 5-inch mark and then go straight down to the end. So we go from 2 inches to there, and we know that's 2 inches, so this is where it helps to have it from both ends. We can go to there, and they're scored. Now the next one we need to do is the one at 7 inches, or it's on 7 inches on here, but it's actually on 3 inches on here. You would then go to your second line down and go towards your your first line down, and then go to your second line down. Gee, I'm getting confused. So on the 3 inches, you would then, and sometimes it's easy to actually just pop a ruler to make sure that you're getting the right spot. So just from there to there, and just to make sure I'm in the right spot. From there to there. Okay, so we've done 2 of our scores. Now we go along to our 4-inch side and we score from the top to the first cross line. So we go from there down to there, and then our 4-inch mark from there, we then go up to the first one. The next one along, we go in the center. So it's a 5-inch mark. So I'm just using this as a guide. So there's 5 inches. So it will be, the score will be there, and it will just be that center part. Moving along, we then go and we basically do it again. So it's a 6-inch mark again, and so it's going to be the same as this one just here. So you're going to do it, so you're coming from your first line down, and then you're going to come from your, oopsies, let's make sure I got it right. There we go. Okay. The 7-inch side, you then go from, oops, have I done this wrong? You are then going to go from, I'm just going to making sure I'm doing this right, from your 7-inch mark, you then go down to that first score line, first drawing line, and then down here you do the same again. Okay, so you should have something, if I fold this out, that looks like that. And I think I'm right there in what I'm doing. Just looked incorrect at one stage there, but it's not. Okay, so let me pop that one back. So there you have your score lines. So, okay, now, so we've done our score line. I don't know whether you can see the actual score lines. We've done one score line from here to here, and one's from there to there. So that's that one and that one. The next one across was the little one in the middle there. Okay. The next one across is this one here. So there, and then down the bottom as well. Then we had our center one. Then we had the two that were in the middle again, or not in the middle, but just the next side out. And then we had the final ones just there. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to now make some cuts. So this is where I tend to not use my scoreboard because I'm far more accurate with a blade. So I'll pop that away. And what I will do is I will grab a blade of some kind. Yeah, that one will do. And what we now need to do is on this first pencil line, you've now got your score lines in place. We need to go from making sure that the bulk of the blank area is at the top. We now need to go from that very first score line down there down to this second score line down to this score line here. So it will be from the 3-inch mark there down to the 7-inch mark, which is there. Okay, so we go from 3 inches, making sure we are on that line, and then we go right down to not this score line right down the bottom, but this score line that comes in just here. Okay, so that's where we've got to go. So we're going to go from there to there. So bringing it back in again, I might just pop this over so you can see. I'm going to go from there to there. Okay, so there we go. Next one we're going to do is we're going to come along on our grid, and we're going to do the second one, but we're going to come down to this score line, which is just here, and then we're going to go down to the very final score line. So we're going to go from this just at the 4-inch mark down to the 8-inch mark. So we'll start there and go there. Okay, then we're going to do the same the other side. So moving it across, I'm hoping you can still see that. We're going to do the same cut as what we did here on this line just here. So we're going to go from there down to there. Okay, making sure that didn't think that. We'll try that one. I'm not sure where my favourite one is, so we'll just do that one again. Okay, and then the final one will be the same as the first one, which is going to go from there. Okay, so from there down to the 7-inch line. So it will go down to this score line that goes across here. So, okay. Just making sure they're all cut. Okay. Now, with what you can do next is you can actually use your eraser to just make sure that's not going to leave any marks, to rub out all of these pencil lines. Okay, because you don't need those on there now. They are simply a guide to actually cutting and scoring. So if you have a look, you've got your bulk. I'll bring this back in. You've got your bulk of your card there. You've got your first score line just down here, and it's both sides. So they are going to be a mountain fold. So what I've done here is I've done mountain, that's a valley, that's a valley, that's a mountain, that's a mountain, and that's a mountain. So let's go. Just very carefully start to bend it, because you don't want to bend this centerpiece. Just bend it a little bit, and then bring the other ones up just so they start to come in. Okay, you're guiding your card through so that it doesn't bend where it's not supposed to bend. Okay, then this one is going to be a valley. That one's going to be a valley too. Oh no, sorry, that's going to be a mountain, and that's going to be a mountain. That's going to be a mountain, and that's going to be a mountain. And the center one here is going to be a mountain, and you can see it starting to come together. So don't try going at it like a bull at a gate. Just do it nice and gently, and it will come together really, really quite easily. So there's that one, and then that one. And eventually you'll see that you'll be able to fold your card down. Now, before you use your tool to make sure that they are all straight, just make sure that your edges down the bottom are straight. Once you're happy that they're straight, use your oh, I can't even find it. Goodness, not doing very well today, am I? Use one of your, oh, there it is. Use one of the tools to make sure that those are nice and crisp. Okay, because we want them to be measured. We want them to be sitting properly. Okay, and there is the basis of your card. So if you want, as I say, if you want to take just a screenshot of that, please do. It's very simple. These here are the sizes for your mats and layers, so if you can zoom in and see those, I'll go through those with you in a moment, but it will give you some kind of an idea of how this card is put together. By the way, this card I saw on Iced Images. Louise did this one. I don't know how long ago. I think it was quite some time ago. I actually saw it on her blog rather than her YouTube channel. So, but yeah, this is, I'll leave that there. So now we've got that. What we now need is we need to start decorating it. Okay, so the card is there. We now need to start decorating it. Now with my centerpiece, the matte layer for this is 4 3/4 down here. Oops. By 1 3/4 across. Okay, and that is going to go in there. The next piece is going to be the two front pieces just here. Whoopsies. Let me bring it down so you can see it. So that's going to go there. I'll put my ruler down so it stays flat. The next pieces are going to be these pieces here, and they are going to be 2 3/4 inches in length and down the across, and then in the length it's going to be 1 3/4. Across there it's going to be the same. On our layers it's going to be 1/4 inch in, so that mat was 2 3/4, so the layer is going to be 2.5 by 1.5. This layer is going to be 1.5 across, and it's going to be 4.5 down there. I would list all of these underneath the tutorial. The smaller ones, and these are the ones that are going to go in here, 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 and here, are all the same size. And the matte layer is going to be 2 3/4 inches along there and 1 1/4 inches along there. The layer is going to be 1 inch across and then 2.5 inches long, and you'll need 4 of those. So they go there, 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 and there. So I'm going to now speed up and just stick those all down for you. Okay, so there, now we have that. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is put some added decoration on. Now, I did cut some flowers out, and I used the Paper Craft Society box, the last one that I got, which is number 41. I think it was the last one I got anyway. I had 2 arrive within 2 days of each other this week. So I used the flowers from that. I used the dies to cut them out. Then I stamped them, and then I actually coloured them with inks. And I just used the brush and did it. That's why my fingers are so dirty. And I've also done a topper just here. Now, that was white, and I felt that the topper was just a little bit too stark. Being white and everything else. I know I've got white behind, but I just wanted, so I just used a little bit of the ink that I had used on these and just put it over the white part just to break it. And I'm thinking that that can go on there, and that can go somewhere like that. I don't necessarily want it centered. And then I don't know whether I'm going to use all the flowers or not, or whether I'm just going to use maybe a couple of them. The flowers I just bend up. I've coloured them with the inks, and then I've used the glitter just to dot over where it indicated. So I'm just going to go away, and I'm just going to play with this for a minute just to get this correct and get it right, and then I'll come back. Okay, so there we have it. We have the lovely flowers that are just drying. I don't want them to, I'll just bring that one down a bit. Yeah, so we've got the flowers that are drying that just lifted a little bit. We have the other flowers here. They will be dry soon. We've got the happy birthday that I've actually mounted, and I've also used the topper that was actually in this card set, paper set. And put happy birthday. But once again, as I said, I have actually coloured them with ink just very, very slightly so that they wasn't too bright. You could write in there. In fact, I think I probably will. I will get a sentiment out in a moment and stamp it in there. But I think it's a beautiful card. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because that really does help. I will actually, if I can find it again, I'll put the card that Louise made from Iced Images. I'll put her tutorial up as well. Hers is same measurements pretty much, but she explains it a little bit differently. So yeah, there's the 2 cards. That was the one I did yesterday for my Christmas stash, and this one is for the birthday stash. The finished size of the card is a card that is 8 inches by 5 inches, so it's a little bit bigger. You would need to do a custom envelope for that, but I think it's a beautiful card that you could give to anybody. Thanks for joining me. Please head over to my Facebook page as well. If you're not a member, just put a request in. We'd love to have you there. We'd love to see what you're making and what you're doing. Until next time, happy crafting, and thank you.